dreams are left unfulfilled and potential unharnessed. In the last few years, however, the African continent has experienced a revolution leading to financial literacy of women. Even though the number of women who do not reach their full potential due to the uneven playing field is still very high. The Women Ladies Foundation has taken a strong stand in helping the African woman rise and fulfill her potential through the launch of the Women Economic Campaign in collaboration with the Leading Ladies Business Institute. It is established that financial and business education is the key to unlocking the golden door of freedom, especially for women. Statistics show that the highest share of women in the workforce globally are found in Africa. However, many of these women are more likely to be in informal employment or running small businesses. African women are less likely to be entrepreneurs, and even when they do venture into entrepreneurship, the enormous challenges of running the business in a volatile economy boost their creativity and limit their success. Women face far more disadvantages to starting businesses, and 40% of economic women's early-stage entrepreneurial activity is significantly low. It is clear that the world has a long way to go when it comes to unlocking tremendous to the economic empowerment of all. By creating power in one woman, an entire community or society or even nation can be transformed. This is why the Leading Ladies Foundation has begun a relentless campaign towards bridging this gap through our flagship training, the Women Economic Empowerment Program. Our objective is to increase access to knowledge that causes a paradigm shift in the 21st century woman, empowering her to make quality life choices, sound financial and business decisions, especially in a rapidly evolving economy. Do you have a group of women to empower us, for example? Our fine array of facilitators who support women empowerment are on board to train the women. By 2030, we will have accomplished all sustainable development goals aimed at equality and inclusiveness, making this world a better place. There is strength in unity only if we work together. With the price of a moderate meal, a generation can be raised. 1,000 naira only. Join us today. It takes a village to accomplish this huge dream. Be a part of those making the dream of women a reality. Empower Africa, one woman at a time. The Leading Ladies Foundation, a big in the world for women across Africa.
All right. So did you get to know who we are? For those who don't know, or you didn't get? Wow. So sorry. So sorry about that. All right. I'm going to be calling up the phenomenon to take us on the first session. I should be talking about real business talk, amongst other things. And I'd like to beautifully introduce her. Are we ready? Are you ready with your paper, biro, and notepads? Your notepads and your biro. Are you ready? Are you sure? Alright. Because God gives you three things. What is that? The first one. So now it's time to gain knowledge. So who's coming up now? Her name is Isua Okoje. Something called PI. Let me introduce her. She's a multifaceted, dynamic, and passionate entrepreneur. She is the CEO of Leading Ladies Foundation. She's an accelerator of the African economy through various training, mentoring, and empowerment schemes for women. Through LLPI, she has empowered over 7,500 women since inception in 2016. Please give her a hand. She's the chief mentor for the Sisters Connect Network, an accountability group system for female entrepreneurs geared towards developing a community of unstoppable goal-getters. She believes strongly in the power of goal setting and teamwork. Wouldn't she be somebody you want to hear from? Yeah. Her results speaks. She's also the co-founder of the I Lead Youth Initiative, a platform for children to help instill leadership values and life skills in the next generation. So if you want to raise your children as leaders, who should you contact? PI. She coaches children and preteens across several platforms. Isowa runs an exclusive book club for busy professionals and entrepreneurs called the Millionaires Cafe, where she mentors men and women to build successful lives and businesses. Her passion is to help entrepreneurs build sustainable businesses and leave a legacy for the next generation. She loves to help people find their life's passion and live out their dreams. Through her personal mentoring program, The Business Clinic, she has helped several young and burgeoning entrepreneurs navigate the new economy and develop great brands. Now, if you've not been attending Business Clinic, I feel sorry for you. Because it's a good place to receive information that will change your clinic, that will change your business and turn your business, take your business to the next level. As a pastor in the Dominion House, she's a passionate lover of people with a desire to raise disciples for the vision of Christ and help people fulfill their divine purpose in God. She serves under her parents, Pastors Vincent and Dr. Arifalo, as the ministry administrator and pastor. Who is Isoa Okoje? She's a conference speaker, an author, a leadership coach, and business developer. She's committed to building African businesses for the global stage. With a round of applause. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. How are you all doing today? I'm so excited to see your beautiful, beautiful faces. And to all my senior ladies in the house, I can see Neka, I can see Amina over there, I can see Mrs. Diaolu. Please put your hands together, take some thanks to you as well. For all my senior ladies in the house.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here
this
morning.
Who's ready for a shift? Hi, good to see my senior ladies in front. Hashtag Udigwe. I'm so glad to be here. One of the things that gladdens my heart as a person is being able to help people from one point of life to another. You see, in the generation that we live in, and the world of business as we have it today, there's nothing as important as being able to navigate this very difficult economic trend and terrain. How many of us know that the economic terrain that we have now is extremely different from what it was just 1 year ago? Things are changing, things have changed, and things will keep changing. The people who are able to succeed, I will call them visionary people. Someone say visionary people. I'm going to ask you a question today. Are you a woman of vision? There are many things I can tell you today, but I only have a very short time. And one of the strongest points I want to leave you with is the fact that you need to become a visionary woman. My question to you is, in the year 2030, how successful will your business be?
What do you see about that business?
Can someone tell me this? What do you see about that business? What do you envisage? In the year 2000,
there were some businesses that exist
today that did not exist before now.
Would you agree with me? Yes. Please, I need help with it. In the year 2000, my voice is loud, right? Yes. There are some businesses that existed and no longer exist. There were some that didn't exist that exist today. What's the difference between the people who had businesses a few years ago, but today their businesses no longer exist? One of the very profound things about such people is the ability to see into a future that does not even exist. What future do you see about your business? What future do you see about your life? You never find a successful person who does not have the future in perspective. They will not be allowed to be successful anymore. How much of the future do you see? Do you think about? How much of the future are you birthing from this very moment? It takes visionaries. Something I love to do so much, I love to read the autobiographies and biographies of successful people. Mr. Mickey Mouse, what's his name? Walt Disney was told that he lacked creativity. Can you believe that? I'm like, how can you tell a man like that you lack creativity? A man like Walt Disney. What do you say about people like that? And you see, the world will try to tell you are not good enough.
That's true.
They'll tell you don't have a good product. They'll tell you it cannot succeed. You see, I tell people it takes one person to make a dream come true. And who's that person? Me. I can't hear you. Who's that person? Me. It takes only one person to make a dream come true. If you believe that your dream is valid, if you believe that your dream will come true, let me tell you what will happen. The whole world will have to shift for it to happen. That's true. So, are you a visionary woman? Is the next 10 years clear to you like today is? Because if it's not clear, you can't get there. You're just going to be oscillating like a barber's chair on the same spot. Circumstances may seem to be changing, but you will just be on the same spot. Someone says the wind that blows in the favor of a man that sets sail with the direction in mind. So it doesn't matter what kind of economic wind is blowing. But because you have a destination in mind, when the wind blows, what it does is that it shifts you closer to your dream.
That's true. That's true.
But when you have no vision, when you have no drive, when there's nothing waking you up at night and pushing you. Someone says a dream is not what you go to bed and have. He says a dream is what prevents you from sleeping.
Yeah. That's what it is.
So how many nights have you missed because you had a dream? Or do you spend your night time in Wonderland? Alice in Wonderland is a fiction. Are you in Wonderland? My major role here today is to jolt you back to reality. And to tell you that if it's going to be, ever be, it's entirely up to you. Your success is not dependent on anybody, not your husband, not your parents. Don't blame anybody for the success that you have or the lack of it thereof. Because what women have done over time is to push the responsibility of their success to other people in their lives. If I had not married early and had all my children, by now, know where I would be. Stop saying that.
That's true. That's true.
It's because of this man I'm married. Stop saying that. If it's going to be, it's entirely up to you. How much of your vision is clear to you? When it's clear to you, others will be forced to see it. But when you cannot even conceive it, when you cannot even birth it, when you don't even believe in your own ability, how dare you trust someone else to believe it for you? Say if it's ever going to be, it's up to me. So now I'm completely off track, but I'm getting somewhere very soon. You see, the world of entrepreneurship is so tough. It's a cold war. Someone says a cold war. And it's survival of the fittest. It's a war. And guess what happens? Most people get to the battleground and that's when they are saying, it's my gun. It's my shield. It's my helmet, I forget it. My shoe. I don't bring a gun. We're in trouble. A soldier that gets to the battleground, preparing for battle on that field, is going to die. You prepare for war before the war begins. Are you ready for war? Yes. When I see people are ready for war, I know them. Are you ready for war?
Yes.
You are getting there. Are you ready for war?
Yes.
Business is war. It's a warfare. And you must be strong to survive each season of your business. Business is like pregnancy. There's first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, and then you give birth to the baby, it's a new phase. And then they tell you 0 to 12 months or 18 months. They call it a toddler. Then 12 months or something. They call it. And you see, business is like that. Each season and each phase with its own symptoms. But if you have not weathered the storm ahead of time, you get there and cave in and bow down. Guess what? A woman that is pregnant, no matter how difficult the pregnancy is, she knows it's how many months? 9 months. Why? There's a vision ahead of her. At the end of these 9 months, I'm going to have a baby. What are you looking for at the end of 10 years? What do you see? A woman who
carries a baby, you see her stomach may not even be protruding, but only her knows she's pregnant, and only her is enjoying it, and knowing that someday soon, everybody's going to be seeing what I'm carrying. People may not see what you're carrying. They may not even believe it. But guess what? It takes one person for a dream to come true. And that person is you. We live in a tough economy, and it takes tougher people to make things work. If you are here wishing your life was easy, we have 3 doors. Take one. Because you see, life is not going to be easy. And I need to tell you that. I need to let you know. If life were easy, by now, I should be in that Cinderella bed that has canopy. And someone's painting my nails. Another person is massaging my hand. Breakfast and bread. I'm not even feeding myself, they're feeding me. But that's a fantasy. And that fantasy can come true if you pay the price today. He will say, there is a freedom that leads to bondage, and there's a bondage that leads to freedom. How many of you have heard that statement before? Do the work now, and you play. Delay gratification today so that you can enjoy it in the season coming soon. Pay the price for learning and growing. First of all, put your paper down. Do your hand like this. Start clapping for yourself. No. Celebrate yourself. I said celebrate. This is my heart. Celebrate yourself. You deserve it. You deserve it. You are a winner. You are a superstar. You are a dream of girl. Your dreams are coming true. Thank you. I see my billionaire sisters rising up. Getting to the end of their journey. Celebrate every simple win that you have. While you are waiting for the big breaks, celebrate the simple wins. But winning enough to invest in yourself, and that's why I told you clap for yourself. Too many people pay lip service to their successes, and they are not willing to pay the price for growth. My younger brother said something one day, and he said, so growing up is a scam. And I laughed. Why? Because nobody told you the price for success. They told you go to school, get a degree, come out, and then get a good job, and you'll be successful, right?
Yes.
But then you finish, you realize that it's not like that.
That's right.
There's a different kind of intelligence that makes you succeed in life.
That's true.
It's not social studies.
That's true.
It's not economics.
That's true.
It's not integrated science. It's not even a BSc in biochemistry. There's a different kind of intelligence. It's called business intelligence. And that's what you need to get. Because without business intelligence, you're going to go round and round in circles, achieving the result of every other person. Because guess what? If all you have is common sense, what you're going to get is common results.
That's true.
But the moment you want something different from what the average people have, you've got to be willing to do what the average people are not doing. Average people will never come to business programs like this.
That's right.
Average people will never pay for a course and learn. Average people will never get a mentor and be accountable. Average people don't read every day. Average people don't read books, business books. Average people do not make intentional relationships. They are on Netflix, Z World, Mo World, and wherever Telemundo goes. They know the latest series. They follow it back to back. They know what everybody is doing. They mind every other person's business apart from theirs. I'm saying it's time to grow up.
That's right.
You may be 55, 65. You may even be close to 70. But if you've not been investing in yourself, you've not been growing up. May I announce to you, it's time to grow up. Grow mentally, grow emotionally. Because you see, in this warfare, emotional strength is very important.
That's right.
And without emotional strength, you will break down. You will cave in.
You will bow down to the simplest symptoms of running a business. What is your plan for growth? People are saying the world is changing, everything is changing, but that's just information. What are you going to do about that change? How are you going to position yourself that in a few months' time, in a few years' time, you're going to be at the center of change, making a wave? What are you going to do differently starting today? Someone said the definition of insanity is doing the same things and expecting a different result. How mad can that person be? But do you want a different result? I'm asking you today. No, I can't hear you. Do you want a different result?
Yes.
My question to you is, what are you willing to do differently from today? Are you willing to go home and change your daily routine, for instance?
That's right.
Are you willing to go home and begin to invest in yourself? Are you willing to go home and instead of sleeping, you pick up a book? Are you willing to say, instead of buying a should be next month, I'm going to pay for a course? Are you willing to say, instead of doing this, I'll deny myself this pleasure for a moment so I can invest in myself? How much value do you see in yourself as a woman? The value you place in yourself is the same value you make out. Meaning that if you see value in yourself, you are willing to invest in yourself. Are you willing to invest in yourself? Do you see value in yourself enough that you are willing to do what it takes to become a person of value? I'm going to give you one last advice before I go. Too many people admire the result of others, but they don't like the process.
That's true. That's true.
We live in a microwave generation. Instant noodles, instant husband, instant wealth, instant children, instant money, instant business. Everything now. May I also announce to you, whatever you get so easily, you lose it like that. Lasting wealth takes strategy. Lasting wealth takes planning. Lasting wealth rests on the shoulders of an empowered woman or an empowered man. You want a wealth that will transcend from your generation to the next. I'm saying, what are you carrying on your shoulders that the generation before you did not carry? What are you willing to do that the wealthy people are doing? One of PD's favorite law is the law of cause and effect. She calls it, or it's called, the iron law of the universe. And it's simple. If you see what a wealthy man is doing, take that same template. I would say, photostat it. Do the exact same thing. And what you're going to get is the exact same result. Many of the things you will hear them say today, from PD, from Just eBay, are the wisdom of wealthy men. What are you going to do with it? Excuse me. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to take that wisdom and begin to use it for your life? Are you listening today? And don't get distracted. You see, because there's another problem. There are too many distractions in the world and people can't focus. I studied recently, and a very shocking truth just, hit my chest. The thing hit my chest. I said, wow. And I'll tell you what the shocking truth is. And it said that an average adult gets distracted once every 8 minutes. How many 8 minutes do we have in 1 hour? Let's do the maths. About 7 or 8 minutes in 1 hour. Thereabouts. 7.5. Now, if you get distracted 7 times every 1 hour, what information can you retain? Tell me. And that's why you see, you can't live your life like every other person is living their life. What I'm telling you here today is not common news everywhere. True or false? And that's why what you need is not what everybody has out there, but what is going to grow you and what's going to develop you from the inside. If I ask you today, in the next 10 years, what do you see about your business? How clear is it to you? If I say by the year 2050, and guess what, the population of Africa is going to about almost triple by the year 2050, what part of your business will be serving that generation? Somebody was saying that the refinery that Dangote is building can serve Nigeria's current population even when we triple. Guess what? When we triple, Dangote will not be alive. But he has a system in place to end for generations to come. That's how wealthy people think.
That's right.
Poor people are adverse to risk. Wealthy people say, "Where is it? Bring it on." But because they are always training their minds, they are always learning and developing themselves, what they take is called calculated risks. But while people don't want to go near risk, poor people rather, they don't want to go near risk. They are like, please, if I can't say 1 + 1 is England or 2, I'm not interested. When people can't see the wealth, can you see it? But it takes a mind that is constantly developing and growing for that to happen. What is your plan for growth? The man who is building rockets, Mark Cuban? No, what's his name? Elon Musk, thank you. Taught himself to build rockets by simply reading. Now he's taking over the world with that simple knowledge. Call it simple, it's not simple. Because he was able to pay the price. He lived in a generation where there were books available. How come? He said, I couldn't afford to go to school where I could learn how to build rockets. But what I did, I decided at least I can buy a book. I can afford to read a book. And he bought a book that taught him how to build rockets. And now they are planning to back up the human race in Mars or something funny like that. What are you going to do for the next generation that will keep earning you wealth? It is said that Michael Jackson is earning more wealth dead than alive. You see, our goal here is not for you to build a side hustle. Come on, 3 doors, take one. My goal, our goal as an organization is to leave a legacy. How many African businesses do we see 500 years? 300 years? How many people bank with First Bank? It's an ancient bank. But that bank is still standing. Some people are thinking, what are you going to do that will preserve a legacy for your children? What are you going to... We're getting to an age where, look, robots will soon be taking over simple things like accounting.
That's right.
It's not happening already. So what the world needs is people that can think. Put your hand like this. Think. So my brain begin to work well. What the world needs is people that can think, not just people that consume. The world is full of too many consumers, and yet a few people who are making consumption available. It's thinkers that own the next level in the world. How can you transit yourself from where the majority is to where the minority will be? And it will always continue to be the minority. Because something Warren Buffett said, he was talking about his reading habits and how he taught himself as an investor, how he would read several books and all of that, and that's how he became wealthy. But then he closed that statement with something very funny. And he said, I will tell you everything because I know most of you will never do it.
Wow.
Isn't it so true? People will not pay the price for success. I'm believing that there are women here who have got a vision of the future. I'm hoping that you're tired of where you are and you're actually willing to pay the price. One of Brian Tracy's very great books that I love so much, I think it was in the book No Excuses, and he was talking about a particular man, or maybe Goals, where he met a man called Koppmeyer. And then he sold him a particular training that was going to cost him, I think, $1,000. And he said at that time, it was not even something him and his wife could afford, even if they put all their money together. But he said gradually, they began to take away certain luxuries from their lives. At about 6 months, he was able to pay for that course, and that transformed his life entirely. The man asked him a simple question. He said, do you have a plan for growth? And he couldn't answer it. He took the question to other people around him, and he asked them that same question. Do you have a plan for growth? And nobody seemed to have a plan. That's because many people do not have a plan. It takes a visionary man and a visionary woman to get a plan for the future that they can't see. Because guess what? Your future is what you create. Your future is what you make to be. Whether by your actions or inactions. So someone will say, because I'm not doing anything, nothing is happening. My question is the world still rotating? Have you done anything to make the world rotate? When the world is there rotating on its axis, meaning guess what? Whether you take an action or not, something is going to be happening. However, you can decide that what happens is for your own good. Are you ready to become a visionary woman?
Oh, yes.
Are you ready to become a visionary woman?
Oh, yes.
A visionary woman has a plan for growth and a strategy. A visionary woman has a community of people who think the same way.
That's true.
A visionary woman has an accountability plan and a mentor.
That's true.
A visionary woman is a woman who has a value for knowledge.
That's true.
A visionary woman is a woman who learns through her entire lifetime. A visionary woman is a woman who spends 80% of her time in growth and development for the result that she desires. A visionary woman has a clear path ahead of her, documented on paper. Not just something you wish. Whatever you desire that is not on paper is simply a wish. Someone say a wish. And someone says it wishes were horses, beggars were what? Right. Are you ready to become a visionary woman?
Yes.
Are you ready to invest in your growth consistently, continuously, no matter what happens? You may not see a way today. You may think I don't have the money, but that's only a thought. The time you decide I want this, by all means, the money has got to show up.
That's true.
Because that's how the world was created to function.
That's true.
When you decide on a path, it will clear way for you. They have told me to be packing my bag. I shall come and be going. Me too, I'm ready. Are you ready to become a visionary woman? Are you ready for more? You see, that's my challenge. I don't feel the desperation in people to really succeed.
That's right.
And it's so annoying. I'm so frustrated. Especially as a coach. You want to push people, drive people, beg them, lift them, carry them, back them. Hey! And yet, all a coach needs is a spark of hunger.
That's true.
A true desire to succeed. People lack it. You may be here today and you're feeling like, me, I'm there. I don't even have a desire. Life has given me bows. That I'm like, well, what next? Let me not expect too much so I won't be disappointed. Let me tell you something. Expectations birth the miraculous. If you have no expectations, what you don't want is what's going to happen.
Very true.
Your expectations are important for your business, for your success journey. And that's why you need a company of people who are ever energetic, who are pursuing a goal. You see, go and check the lives of wealthy people. You will see them hanging around eagles like themselves and not chicken.
You're talking.
Don't let sentiments bury you in life. It's my father-in-law's brother's uncle. And that's why they are doing it together. Do you really have a vision? Is there really something that you see? Because a man on a vision, a man on a journey, a man with a destination in mind is a man who doesn't care what's going on. He has a destination, he's pursuing with all of his might. I hope that you will leave here today with a real desire to succeed. And I told you earlier, don't pray that the road will be easy. Instead, pray that you'll be tough. The road is many times not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be succeeding. The road is rough, but it takes tough people to pass through the terrain. Are you ready to become tough? You see, when you want to become tough, you are not the one that toughens yourself. It's somebody that roughens you. You are not understanding me. When you go to the wrestling ring, only yourself, you are boxing yourself. Is that possible?
No.
There's someone that buffets you, that punches you into shape. If you don't have somebody or a system or an institution that punches you into shape, you'll be shapeless. You might be carrying figure head up and down. Up you're safe, down you're safe. Around the middle station, you're even safer. You see? That's not what we're talking about. You may be slaying in clothes, slay up here. Let your brain be slain. Because it's what your brain can slay that your account can slay. So what am I saying? Nobody grows by themselves. Don't be deceived. They will tell you, when are you going to learn in that school? That's what they always say. They will tell you, just take your money. Don't worry. The people here that are taking their money, their lives are better. You better bring your money, let's take it.
Yes,
So you can be okay.
serious thing.
Me, they are taking my money, they are still taking it, and I will still keep them. Because if they don't take it, you know that now they say, if I don't give them, how can they take it? If I don't give them, how can I become better? There is a system for growth, and there is a system for development. Now, I was talking to a group of women yesterday, and I said, it's so funny how the world has designed our lives. And if you're not careful, you're going to follow a trend that has not developed many great people. From 3 months, working class mother, babies in the crèche. And that baby grows in that system. 25 years, and a cage in the mind.
Wow.
Some people don't wake up till 40 from that cage. Some people don't wake up till 50. If you are hearing what I'm hearing today, you are in a privileged place to wake up now.
That's right.
We have been wired to think in a certain way. And that's why people seem to be, all of them getting the same kind of results. You want a result that is not like everybody else? Go and look for people that are doing something different. Different pattern.
That's true.
All of us here have been programmed to think about wealth in a certain way. Most of us grew up believing that you can't hammer until you are 40, 50. True or false? That's the kind of programming. I missed many other programs. Finally, before the break came to this pulpit, a person is conscious between the ages of 0 and 7. From the age of 7, we enter into what is called an unconscious state. Yes, we're alive, we're walking about, doing a life, getting married, having children, but we are unconscious. Because from the age of 0 to 7, our programming has been built into our minds. If you have children under 7, raise your hand and say, you are blessed and privileged to hear this now. Train them well with the right kind of mindset that gives them fair future. From the age of 7, we are already formed. One thing changes you and jolts you back into reality is the training that you begin to receive. Trainings jolt you back into reality. Your money spending habits, you got it from your parents. Your view of marriage, you got it from your parents, or wherever you grew up in within that time of life. What is going to change you is trainings that jolt you back into reality. And so it's time to wake up. If you really desire more, it's time to become more. And I'm saying it takes more than the ordinary to become a visionary woman. So get on board. There are many ways to get involved at LLBI. Start now. However, people are very eager to begin to see results 1 week after school. Your husband say, didn't I tell you? Say, honey, you said it all. My question to you is this. Did you become 40 in 1 day?
No.
Did you become 50 in 1 week? Did you even become 25 in 2 days? So, what I'm trying to say, it's a journey for a lifetime. You will really begin to see the dividends of personal development, growth, and all of that when you have been on that journey consistently for about 10 years.
That's right.
It's not in vain. You see, people will come up and you'll blow this bell. Wow. All of us will be outside. But she has been doing it since she was 19. 19. I met PD about 9 years ago, maybe going to 10 years. And she has been reading. I told them. Reading consistently. Developing herself and growing consistently. What you would see her say today is not work of 1 week or 1 month or 2 months, not even 5 years and not even 10 years. If you really desire wealth, know that you've got to be on this journey for the rest of your life. And our alumni in this place, we set up a fantastic LLBA. Don't let Manuel leave you for back. Hop on board. Don't wait for when we are not 10 years. Have I known it? Now, growth takes time and it's a process. Thank you.
You can do better than that. What do we say to PI? If you don't say thank you, you come and speak now. Everything is thank you. What do we say to PI? Now, people will always tell us the best time to have built a tree was how many years ago? The next best time is when? Now. Tell your neighbor, ask your neighbor, say how much more? No, look at the person, eyeballs. How much more? Are you ready to pay the price? Alright. I'm going to be calling for the second speaker from today. Are we here? Did you learn anything? Yes, expectations bet what? I'm not hearing you. Okay. Your future is what you do what? Is what you what? You create your future. I'm busy your husband. Alright. I'm going to be calling a phenomenon. And I've had the opportunity to listen to her so many times on Instagram. I just like her page. I just listen. Just Omomo Ibe is an economic growth and development consultant, rebuilding the African economy through entrepreneurship, youth employment, education, and trade. She is the president of the Association of African Startups, a Pan-African organization with membership presence in the 55 countries in Africa, equipping startup entrepreneurs with resources required to build sustainable businesses with a view to rebuilding the African economy. Are we still here, please? She's a certified global market intelligence expert for telling market trends in sectors stroke industries, nations and governments with a view to helping African economies compete competitively and comparatively with global economies. She's a certified global leader from the International Leadership Institute of the United States, I think. Lead consultant at the Just eBay Company, a management consulting firm with key focus on sales, marketing, digital strategy, business communications, sustainable economic development, strategy, market research, and intelligence. She's the co-founder of Inspire Tech, a startup tech company revolutionizing content creation, distribution, and sales. She is the president of the Just eBay Foundation, a non-governmental organization organizing communities and empowering widows and orphans in Africa. Just eBay is a certified sustainable development expert from the International Business Management Institute, a certified behavioral economy and marketing psychology expert. She's loaded, man. A certified economic growth and development expert, and a certified government economic policy expert. She's currently an MBA student of the University of South Wales, United Kingdom, a certified management specialist in time management with distinctions from the London Graduate School. Now, wow. Ask your neighbor, say how much more? Now you're celebrating her. In 5 years' time, we'll celebrate you. If you join LLBI and you're trained. Yes. As a trained management consultant, she combines her experience as banker of 8 years working with SMEs to deploy marketing and sales strategies that position African startups to grow businesses that they can totally rely on to build the Africa we desire. We always get the best at LLBI. Clap for us. We don't bring people who don't have results. PI spoke. You heard the results now. Yes. Did you not read the results? Yes. Ask your neighbor, say, where's your result? I'm not asking you to make a 2-1 of his class. That's no result. In the last 5 years, she has helped over 10,000 startups across the world create consistent revenue in their business. In 2021 and the decade, she's on a mission to replicate these results for 1 million African startups. She's said to be the bridge between the Africa today and the Africa we desire. With a round of applause, clap well. Let's welcome Just eBay. Standing ovation.
Okay, so guys, I started an existing couple. Thank you so much. Listening to you was everything. I mean, I felt like she took a part of what was burning in my heart and put it out here for everyone. And I like that atmosphere already. Because she's challenged us. Are you really a visionary? And that's really what my heart wants for. But I want to say thank you to PDD for finding me worthy to be here today. I don't take it for granted. And please, I just want to disabuse your mind. Forget all those things there. Please. Don't look at me with those things there. Look at me as a woman like you who started somewhere and is hungry for a better future. But mostly because I'm hungry for an Africa that I have seen somewhere. And that's why when she started talking about vision, I couldn't sit still. We were talking with Peter and I said, Peter, please, I need to listen to that woman. Because she said to speak something like, here. And you see, as women, there's a gift God puts inside of us. That ability to carry something, nurture it, and birth it, it's not just for procreation. It's because embedded within our DNA is an architecture to birth change. It's an architecture to birth the new. So if you're tired of what is happening in Nigeria, it's because you and I are sitting on what is inside of us. If you are tired of what you see in Africa, in different sectors, in different countries, you and I are sitting on what is embedded within us. And I'm going to start today by discussing 2 theories I like to disabuse the minds of women everywhere I find a chance to. And that's the mindset for sustenance and mindset for sustainability. When you started a business, if anyone is going to be bold enough, please share. What truly did you start that business for? Anyone want to share? One person? Yes, ma'am.
I started a business like I wanted to ride a Bitcoin.
Ha! Please clap for her. And there's a reason why I said clap for her. She was honest. She wanted to while away time. That's one person. I can guarantee you that amongst every one of us here, majority of us started because we just need to pay bills. If you are here and that's why you started, you are wrong. From the depth of my heart, you are wrong. And you are the reason why we are where we are. Because as long as because you just want to pay bills, if tomorrow you get to sit on Aso Rock as the president, you are gonna steal our money. You are gonna steal our money. Because at that level, your desires will increase and you will need money that you don't have to meet those expectations. So the reason why we complain that this country doesn't work is because you and I started the businesses who want to take care of our bills. So stop blaming Buhari, blame yourself. That's a mindset shift I want you to have today. Don't blame him anymore. Because you're guilty of the same things you're blaming him for, only because you don't have the opportunities he has. You see, everybody's accepting because that's who we are inherently. So if we are going to do better, we must move from that mindset of sustenance to the mindset of sustainability. Meaning, I'm here because there are 1,000 other lives, 1,000 other businesses, 1,000 other families that my life is a conduit to transform theirs. Let me say it again in case you look, it sounded too big. I'm here because there are 1,000 other persons, 1,000 other businesses, 1,000 other families that my life, my business should be a conduit to make themselves better. Meaning, if I start a business today and I don't see how it's going to benefit even the small community I'm in, it's important. And that's why during the lockdown, people were vandalizing shops. Those guys are your brothers and sisters. The reason why is because you have been selfish. You have all been caring about you, me, and that community where you are in, you have zero concern on how your business should transform that community. So you see people in a market and the gutters around them can swallow them, but every day they'll jump it. Hey, let's not move my name. That's wickedness. Not for the government or the local government chairman, for you and I. Nigeria is not in people, it's in you and me first. You are the government that will see. And I'm setting this preamble because if your mindset doesn't change today, I wasted my time. The only reason I can talk to you here today is because I had a shift, I had an epiphany last year. And like the majority of you, I'm a very ambitious woman. Right? If there's a Dangote, I want to be Dangote more. That has been my mindset. But there was something flawed with that thinking. There's nothing wrong to want to be successful, but the flawedness in that mindset is it's about me. So I wanted to be wealthy because I want to ride private jets. Because I want to have hackers and properties in the UK, in all the different countries in the world. That ambition was great, but it was flawed. Because even if I had that level of wealth, it would have been useless in the world. It would just be one other rich person in Africa. Like we have one rich person. You see what I mean? We don't want one rich person anymore. We want rich people who are thinking about transformation of the average human life. That's the only reason why God should bless you. And it's not from you and I sitting here today. And so, just to bring this down and lay it home, I'm going to ask you to look at what it is you carry by way of your business. Is it a communal impact, a national impact, a continental impact, or a global impact kind of business? Let me try and break that down. So, you sell hair. I'm giving an example, right? And the nature of the kind of hair you sell is basically those types that the average lady that can afford 5K, 6K can buy. You know that what you're trying to do with that business is to be able to move from one community to the other community that you know they are low income earners so that you can help them look beautiful without breaking the bank. Yeah. So your own sort of growth, plan will be, I want to move from community to community. So if people in your space of business are talking about, I want to expand global, you won't be thinking of jumping from one country to the other. Because you know your categorization of market. You know it's to help middle age, low income. So you're moving from community to community. So with that level of thinking, you're spreading on a communal basis where your business is growing in leaps and bounds. As opposed to when you are working with somebody who wants to export Ogi to the international market or Africans in diaspora. She's thinking global expansion. So she's moving it from that village and packaging it and selling it abroad. You who is in that kind of hair will not be thinking like that. So as a business, you're going to sit down and say, my business, is it for communal spread? Is it for national spread? Is it for continental spread? Or is it for global spread? And I know everybody says, good global. It's great, but you must understand the foundation upon which your business lies so that you can know how to spread. There's nothing wrong if I'm opening branches in community after community as opposed to country after country. I hope you know that.
Yes.
And that's why KFC, he knows that his goal is to be in specific strategic location for the urban people. You will not go to your village and see KFC. He knows what's going on. Do you see? As a person who wants to grow, you must understand the way your business can spread and hone in on that so that you can spread very quickly and still be giving impact as your business was created to give. Having said that preamble, the next thing I want to talk about here is understanding the African market. It's supposedly the largest continent in the world, 1.4 billion people currently, and estimated to triple by 2050. What we don't realize is, every time we say global is not just Nigeria to America. Sure you know. Global can be Nigeria to Kenya. I hope you know that. And if you realize that the size of the market of this continent is humongous, you would attempt to hone in on our numbers. The only place where we don't know that this is the largest place is only in Africa. Yes. Because the West is running here. Every country in the West is running here. Either they're taking resources, or they're bringing back, or they're bringing earring, or human hair. Everything you use here is from there. So they know that this is more of a market than you will ever know. That's a problem. That's a problem. They know that we'll keep burning children. So they are creating and strategizing several years to keep giving you things to consume. And which was saying consumption and production is so apt. So who are the businesses that will say, you know what, I want global recognition, but can I just face these numbers here? 1.4 billion is a lot. If you get only 0.001 of that percentage, do the maths. And you see, guys, that much is not the richest man in Africa for nothing. The man is also good. He's not. Did you hear that there's Dangote in Bahamas? No. What's he doing? He's leveraging the markets that you and I have ignored, Africa. Yesterday, a deal was signed by the IMF and Sudan in France. And Sudan's debt has been cleared. Guess what Dangote says? Said I'm going there to invest. So when people are talking business, because they see a market that you and I are still thinking, they say it's global now, let's collect dollars. No. There's a bigger market here in Africa. So when you get out of here, start creating networks of different people in different African countries to say, what don't you have in your country? It's simple, but you can transform somebody's life radically. What don't you have in your country? That's a simple question. And the saddest part of this reality also is that the West has somehow put in us a seeming enmity between Africans. That it's difficult for us to go to ourselves. It's difficult. That's why a Ghanaian will say, I don't like Nigerians. A South African will say, I don't like Nigerians. So that's rubbish. It's a subtle conversation. But you and I are the change that must start. We're not the largest in Africa for nothing. It's expected that we become the bigger person. And I say it all the time. It's okay for any other person in Africa to misbehave, but when I get there, I will not misbehave. I will teach them how an African should behave. Why? I am Nigerian. That doesn't make me superior. It's just for us to wake up to a superiority of thinking that the change we require in this continent must start from here. And so, understanding that this market is so large and that you have access to either enter into a new market as a new business or scale an existing business in either of these markets is an advantage to you. Having said this preamble, the next thing I want us to understand is you must gain ground and market share. I find that in this part of the world we're a bit lackadaisical about gaining ground. And when I say gaining ground, I'm saying using the platforms that exist and using it powerfully. So social media might be a great tool, but it was created and turned into a tool for economic growth. Some people go to social media and think it's just for preference. Well, that's good if that's what you think. But let's see social media as a tool for economic growth and development. If channeled and used appropriately. The mindset with which you go to a platform is what determines how well you leverage that platform. So if you go there and think all it's about showing great pictures, well, that's all they're going to ever get. But if you go there and see it as a tool for rallying troops that will help you push your business, that's what you're going to get. So as a businesswoman here listening today, when you get out of here, say, whatever platform I decide to use, if it's Facebook, if it's Instagram, if it's Twitter, if it's WhatsApp, whatever it is, I am going to leverage it and leverage it well. And what leveraging means is understand positioning. Meaning people will call you what you want to call yourself. Not what you want, what you think. What you want to call yourself. If you are bold enough to tell the world that I am the president of Nigeria, and you live up to it and call it every day for the next 10 years or 5 years, one day they'll see you on the street and say, see Buhari, they'll call you president. It's not because they don't know Buhari is the president, but it's because you have been bold enough to tell yourself I am the president and saying it repeatedly. So you want to leverage a platform, you are going to go all out and tell the world, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is why you should pay attention to me. And you're going to do it judiciously, consistently, with a level of boldness and confidence from someone who can deliver results. Because the reason why people may bypass you when you're trying to leverage those platforms is you can't seem to defend what you brag about. And that's what she was talking about, personal development and growth. It's so pivotal to grow your business. Nobody will believe in your business more than you believe in your business. And if you believe in your business, the best you can do for it is commit to knowing it so much that when you speak it, the passion, the sincerity, the conviction will draw people closer. You're listening to me today, I sound nice or sound okay, maybe, because I'm talking from a place of I know this thing. The reason why people may be ignoring you is because you're talking and hiding your face. Who are those that are going to own it with their full chest? Because I know this thing. And how do you do it? She mentioned it a lot. Personal development, growth, studying, reading, committing to growing in the area you have been called. What I say called, your business and everything else that you do. Right? Building authority. And building authority here, I'm just going to mention it very briefly, is in the same industry where you want to sell things, there are several people that sell exactly what you want to sell. The only reason why you'll be giving chance and attention, because see, there's violence everywhere. It's not violence. Oh, there's so much violence. Because the people who are up there, they will not shit for you to come. I'm sorry, it's the truth. I'm not just going to fold my hand and cross my legs and say, oh yeah, she's a startup, let me shift, or let me dim my light so that she can shine. No. That's why you see a baba that is old, into doing Instagram live every day. Why? He doesn't want to die. So, what does this mean? It means that you, who is a newbie, so to speak, on the social space, trying to leverage the social space, or you have an offline business, you're not going to reduce your marketing just because it's the time to be out there, audacious, bold, unapologetic. Unapologetic. And unapologetically giving counsel, value from a place of authority. And herein lies one of the mistakes that women make a lot. We try to sell too much. Selling may be good, but what you should do instead is show people their problems. It's like dangling a bait and walking away. Dangle a bait, walk away. Show them their problem. Look at them facing it. And use the fear of missing out factor. What's going to cause you to stay with that problem? That's okay if you want to stay with the problem. You dangle. That's a superior way of selling. They chase. The people who need it will chase. It's like you see a ripe tree with fruits. You doesn't beg you to come and plug. You run to it. You must begin to sell that way. So identify the problems your customers are dealing with. Dangle the problems. Show them what that problem is causing them mathematical value. If you want to be brutal. Yes, calculate what that problem is causing them. So you are selling wig and you want women to buy your wig. Do a mathematical breakdown of how much it costs them to go and retouch their hair every Saturday. The amount of time they will spend in traffic. The amount of time they'll buy all those shampoo, all those things they use. The amount of time they'll take inhaling the smell of the person that is washing their hair from the armpit. Calculate it and dangle it to them. Once you calculate it and dangle it to them, you may not get them to buy at first, but they'll be watching. They'll be watching. One day they'll say, it's true, sir. Me, I'm tired of entering traffic every day to go and wash hair. Please give me 1 week. That's really what it is. As against dancing, wig every day. You can't grow a sustainable business dancing. And we must settle that. And as women, we are women, we can tell ourselves the truth. There's no reason why you and I cannot be at the topmost place of, influence in terms of business influence. There's no reason why. And you can't get them dancing. You can't. Because when you sit at those tables, your name is never going to come up. Why? Dancers don't sit at serious tables. And we're talking about representation, political representation, all those things that matter. We're looking for women who can sit at their tables and say, I grew this business with every tenacity, grit, integrity, moral culture put together, all those things. And when they're calling names, they'll call your name. So we need to change strategy. There's something she said earlier, I just want to dance into a little. She said vision. Vision is what keeps you awake when others are sleeping. I'm going to try to shake some table, but very softly. How many of you know what the next 5 years of your business is going to be? I mean, well, you don't know the exact outcome because, God determines outcomes. But I'm saying, you see clearly where you're going.